The boom in the crypto and finance industry has made blockchain very popular and more user-friendly. It's almost the talk of every next-gen crypto investor stepping into the crypto investment world. If you are new to the crypto world, you will find it difficult to understand how the tech works. Fortunately, this video will guide you through what it is and how it works. But it also has simplified explanations for the complex nature of the blockchain technology that most crypto enthusiasts will also benefit from. Before we look at what blockchain is and how it works, thank you for clicking on the video and welcome to our channel. We will be looking at blockchain and how it works in this video. While you prepare your mind to learn about blockchain, you can work your fingers into clicking the subscribe and bell icon to get access to more of our videos about the crypto works that will mostly be simple to understand. The blockchain is a technology that stores records of transactions or blocks that belong to the public and are stored on chains, also known as databases. Storage occurs on a peer-to-peer node connection in a network and is regarded as digital ledgers. Every peer on the blockchain has a unique digital signature which he uses to authorize and validate any transaction he makes. The e-signature also makes it hard for them to be altered. The distributed digital ledger can be compared to a Google spreadsheet, which can be accessed by different computers on the network. Now, even though many users can see this information, they can't change it or alter it. That's one of the beauties of blockchain technology. As already stated, blockchain has gotten so popular. Why? What happened? And what significant difference does it make in the financial industry? Take, for instance, you wish to send money to a family or a close friend. You will have to do that transaction with your card and bank account. To achieve that, you need to log into your online banking app and transfer the money from your account to the person's account number. Once the transaction is done, your bank updates its financial record. Although these may seem like simple things to do, it's a risk most of us neglect. These records can be tampered with easily, and because of this vulnerability, the blockchain was created by a person with an unknown identity, Satoshi Nakamoto, in 2008. Ideally, the blockchain was designed to be a distributed ledger, but it has since evolved. Why? In every business, keeping records and data on every financial transaction is very important. But this information is managed by third parties like banks, brokers, and even lawyers. And their fees are high. With blockchain, all of those are eliminated and the process is more convenient and faster. It will save you both money and time. But there are other reasons aside from this that make the technology popular. The first is the high level of security it offers to users. Since information on the blockchain can't be changed, they are immutable. Financial or any other kind of fraud from mutilation or change or manipulation of data will be impossible. Secondly, the blockchain is decentralized and not governed by any central body or governing authority. Instead, the blockchain is done with a mutual consensus mechanism of the participants in the blockchain network. In the Bitcoin blockchain, the consensus mechanism is the proof of work, while the proof of stake mechanism can be found on blockchains like Cardano or Solana. You can check out our video on proof of stake to understand how it works. Another reason blockchain is gaining ground is its ability to be automated. The blockchain is programmable, and because of that, it can create events, actions, and automatic payments when the criteria necessary for them are met. A lot of people might be tempted to believe that the blockchain works in a very complex way, but in this video, we will demystify how blockchain works and make it easier for you to understand. Bear in mind that the blockchain functions properly because it consists of three powerful technologies: cryptographic keys, a distributed ledger in a peer-to-peer network, and finally, the ability to record the transactions of the network and store them in a computerized way. Let's break these down so you can understand them better. The first component is the cryptographic key. They are of two types: the public keys and the private keys. These keys are important because they help to carry out successful transactions between two persons. These two people have two keys, and they use their keys to produce a secured identity, which is known as a digital signature in the crypto world. These signatures are used by participants in the network to control and authorize transactions. When they do, the signatures are merged with the distributed ledgers of the peer-to-peer network. This network is a large group of participants on the network who use their digital signatures to reach a consensus, either for transactions or for any other purposes. When these networks authorize a deal, A mathematical verification certifies it, and the transaction is recorded as successful. The summary of all these briefly explains how the blockchain works. The users on a blockchain use their cryptographic keys to carry out different digital transactions on the blockchain's peer network. These transactions are then certified by mathematical verification. The transactions might differ depending on the nature of the interaction between the two key holders, and also in the type of blockchain. There are mainly 4 types of blockchain, and they are: the private blockchain operates on closed networks and works better for private organizations and businesses. It can be used to customize a company's authorization or accessibility and other key security details. The next type is the public blockchain, which gave rise to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and helped to make distributed ledger tech very popular. The blockchain helps to remove some issues and challenges that have to do with centralization, security, and other issues in the traditional finance world. It uses the proof of stake or the proof of work consensus mechanism and algorithms to verify and validate information and transactions on the blockchain. Then there's the permissioned blockchain, which is a hybrid of both private and public blockchains. While it limits access to the network in who can do what and in what transactions, it permits specific individuals to do that. Finally, there is the consortium blockchain, which has both private and public components of a blockchain and is managed by multiple organizations. They are very complex and best for collaboration between many organizations. Now, let's look at how transactions are carried out on the blockchain and what makes it special and different from traditional finance methods of authorizing and confirming transactions. Say Mr. A and Mr. B want to carry out a transaction with a public and private key. Mr. A, who is the first person, in this case, would have to add the information of the transactions to the public key of Mr. B. All this information is put into a block. Inside the block is also a timestamp, digital signature, and other records relevant to the transaction, except for the identity of Mr. A and Mr. B. The block is then moved around all the nodes in the network till it matches with the private keys of Mr. B. Then the transaction is successful. Financial transactions are not all that can be done on the blockchain. Because of the development of smart contracts, which you can find out more about in our video, the blockchain can be used for other transactions. We can't talk about how blockchain works without talking about hash encryption, which is used by the blockchain to secure information and data. The main algorithm used is SHA-356, which secures and transmits the address of the sender or the public key, the receiver's address, the transaction, and also the details of the private keys. The information that has been encrypted, called the hash encryption, then travels across all the nodes on the blockchain before being added to the blockchain after it has been verified. Because of the SHA-256 algorithm, hacking the hash is impossible. Then there is the proof of work consensus mechanism you need to know about. It's a lot different from proof of stake. You can find out more in our video that compares the two consensus mechanisms and the differences and similarities between them. To explain the proof of work, you need to know that the block in the blockchain has 4 headers. They are the previous hash, which locates the previous block, the details of the transaction. A nonce is an arbitrary number used to differentiate the hash address of the block. And the block's hash address consists of all of the above and a hashing algorithm of 256-bit and 64 characters. Lots of people solve complex mathematical problems to figure out the next hash value. The first to get it right is rewarded in the blockchain's native currency. This process is known as mining, and the people who do that are blockchain miners. It allows for new blocks to be added to the blockchain. Because of how tough the process is, it makes the blockchain very secure. This is one of the advantages of blockchain. Other advantages include the absence of third parties, speed, anonymity, and convenience. However, there are disadvantages too. Losing your private keys can mean a lot of challenges for you. Worst of all, it can cost you your entire investment. Then there is the scalability issue of the blockchain and the fact that the blockchain is immutable, making it difficult to correct mistakes. Aside from financial transactions, blockchain can be used for storing and transferring data as well. It also creates investment opportunities like staking, liquidity pools, yield farming, and crypto trading. Luckily for you, we have videos that can prepare you for all of these. All you have to do is hit the subscribe and bell icon. Till the next video, goodbye!